Welcome, and follow me on ALCATEL 1X from 2019, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks that you can do on this device. So starting off, we're going to begin with the gestures. So you can change and get rid of these pesky buttons on the bottom and change them up for something, I guess, a little bit more modern. It's not the best gestures, but still better than, in my opinion, the buttons. So to get started, let's go into the settings, and from there to the display, and here we'll have navigation bar. Just change it to full screen gestures. It removes the buttons and gives you an animation on how to use it. So you have basically back button from either side, then you have a home button from the middle. You just swipe up, and if you want to go to recent, you kind of swipe up and hold. So just a quick explanation. Okay, you've seen I swiped up and it went home. If I swipe and hold, it opens up recent. If I swipe from sides, it goes back. So just a nice way of navigating and removing the buttons that in my opinion get kind of in the way and they're not necessarily needed there. Now moving on, we're going to go into the mirror vision, which just simply allows you to add a little bit more color and contrast to your display. So again, let's go into the settings, and from there to the display, and you will find it right here. Stop on the bars on the side and go to picture mode. And from here on, I probably change it to vivid, depending if you like it or not. You can see an instant difference in the picture that is here, used as an example right here. So you can see the red looks a little bit more reddish, and all the colors seem a little bit more saturated and not as kind of grayish and washed out. And then you can also tap on the three bars again, scroll down, and you'll have dynamic video enhancer dynamic contrast right here. So you can tap on it, and it gives you again an image, so you can see how it differs. So when you enable it, it basically turns on. Flipping it on and off so you can see the difference. The image that seems brighter and just more or less kind of like grayish, kind of like behind some kind of cloud or whatever, I'm not really sure how to explain it, is the one that is improved. So this is on off, and in my opinion ages better than this kind of like washed out color. So once you have set it up, all you need to do is just go home, and the settings will be kept throughout the entire system. So whatever you do, the quality will stay there now. Then moving on, I wanted to show a way to decrease the animations. So whatever you basically do, you have animations to it. So if it's sliding up, and you tap on it, if it doesn't glitch out, this just kind of, I guess, loses. Let's try that again, because normally it's supposed to zoom in, but I think due to the setting that I was in, it didn't really work well. So let's try that again. So you can see there it was the zoom. If you close it, it slides down. So every kind of thing that you do has an animation. Now to reduce those animations, we're going to go into settings, then system, about phone, and find the build number right here, and you want to tap on that 7 times. Now if you have some kind of pattern set, it will pop it up right here that you need to confirm it. If you don't, it will just give you a message that developer options has been enabled, so as it is right now. So let's go back, and you see developer options pop in here, so you want to tap on it. And from here, let's scroll down past halfway, and we should find it. There we go. So you have the animations, which already look like primarily 2 out of 3 are set to 0.5. So animation duration scale, you can change that to also half and increase that. And if you want to go a little bit more crazy, you can basically turn off all the animations by setting it to off. And now whatever you do will not be animated anymore. So you can see everything just pops into view immediately. There is no sliding of any sort. So sliding unless you do it yourself, as you can see. But for instance, if you let go, it doesn't kind of like slide back, it just snaps back into position. Now if you, for instance, don't like it, you can always change it again in the settings right here. So I guess I can find it once more. Or was it? There we go. So if you don't like it, you can go back here and set it to default, if that's your thing. Yep. Now moving on, we're gonna go into the Dura speed. That's primarily because the device isn't necessarily the fastest device on the market. And Dura speed will just allow you to increase the performance of the foreground apps and limit the ones on the background. So again, let's go into the settings, and from here we're gonna go into, where was it? Was it on the display? Because I actually don't remember. I think I'm gonna search for it. Can't seem to find it. There we go. So it's advanced features now. It took me a little bit to actually find it. So once you tap on it, you have apps that you can enable right here to actually work with it. So what it will do is limit switch on to allow apps running in the background. So all of them that are right now turned on will run in the background. Now if you want to have more performance, I would disable some of them. I'm not an advocate user of Facebook, for instance, or Duo, although as long as they're not turned on, they won't be running in the background. But OneDrive I think always runs. Chrome you can disable. Slack I would probably keep. Carrier service I would probably also keep. Calendar disable. What else is there? Gmail, Google. Play services I would keep. Play Store probably not. So this is more of a preference wise, and the things that you use more often you might want to keep on. They will be basically continuously running in the background as they would normally, and anything that isn't enabled, so anything below, will basically be terminated the moment you go to home screen like this. So instead of running in the background right now, if you go into recent as though the app is open, they will be basically slowed and give all the performance that it would be taken by the app running in the background to whatever you're doing right now. It's just a nice way of getting a little bit more performance out of the device. And the last thing that I want to show is the password visibility. Now whenever you type in a password, so let's go into the Wi-Fi, that's a great place to showcase this in. So if I go in here and start typing in the password, you can always see the latest letter I have pressed. Now I personally don't like that one bit. It poses in a way a threat to security. So if you're typing a password, someone can basically see your entire password, especially if you're typing a little bit slow. You can clearly read the password in here. So there's a way to actually remove this by going into the settings. Let's just go back to, okay, there we go, the main settings page. And from here you want to go into security and location. There we go. Scroll down and you'll have the option right here, make password visible. Disable that as it should be right from the get-go. And then if we go back to typing in a password, you'll see that the password is no longer visible. So there is no letter provided right here. So in my opinion, this is just way better than it was before, and no one can really see the password until basically you type it on here. But this can be vary in the way you're typing, considering you can switch it up basically by just sliding your finger on the keyboard. So it won't be as accurate as just a definitive letter being provided right here. So that would be the tweaks and tricks that I want to share with you, and if you found any of them helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.